Welcome back, guys. In the next three videos, we're going to be taking a look at Visa, MasterCard, and American Express because these three are payment processors. They do cards, and they are all very, very similar. So we're going to compare the three and see which one is the best. Today, we're going to look at Visa, though, and then tomorrow, probably MasterCard. So let's take a look over their all-time chart looks so good. Oh my gosh, I wish I had bought them in 2009. But yeah, their 5-year chart, they're up 70%, and they pay a small dividend. They've basically kept pace with the S&P 500, and yeah, the the payment processing space, especially with the credit cards, is very, very strong. Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway have a stake in Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. So, yeah, they think that all three of them are good companies. Taking a look at their market cap, they are a $500 billion company. Visa is the leader when it comes to these types of companies, and their price to earnings ratio is 30, which is kind of high, pretty steep, but they do have lots of growth. And let's take a closer look at the financials. Now, the great thing about Visa is that their gross margin is insanely high, and then they barely have to spend any money on like workers and stuff. So it basically translates straight into their income, and they have had very, very high profit margins at like 54% last year, and I would expect that to continue moving into the future, probably even expanding margins. They buy back some stock and they pay a small dividend. In terms of their balance sheet is amazing. They basically have just a little tiny bit of debt, 312 million. Yeah, nothing really important on their balance sheet. Cash flow. What are they doing with their cash? Well, they pay a small dividend, which is growing every year, and they buy back lots and lots of stock. Usually a good sign. Yeah, they can basically just pay back all their money in free cash flow straight to the shareholders, which is always very, very good. 12 billion in share buybacks last year, and probably 12 billion this year as well. Taking a look at their stats, let's look at their margins. Their ROIC is super good. Their gross margin very high at 77%, and their net margin 52%. We can see over the past 4 years it has been expanding as well. Now, Visa is the leader right here, 42% of the market. MasterCard makes up 27% in terms of the purchase volume, and American Express is up there as well. In terms of the amount of credit cards in circulation, Visa, once again, is the leader, MasterCard, and then American Express is just a little bit of the pie. Let's take a look at what the analysts think. Well, okay, first, I like to look at their short percentage, and their short percentage is actually 2%, which is actually quite high for this type of business. Like, why are people shorting this company? It doesn't make any sense to me, because this company is just going to grow indefinitely into the future. I have no clue why you would even short this. But yeah. In terms of their analysis, let's look at what they think. They're thinking 9.95 going up to 11. That's like a 10% increase in their earnings and like a 10% increase in their revenue, which makes a lot of sense. Let's plug this into the DCF model. I put the estimates here. Buybacks of 12 billion, net debt of 312 million, discount rate 10% because I want a 10% return on all of my stocks. Exit multiple 25. I think all of the credit card payments processing companies, they command exit multiples very high at 25 because they have amazing network effects. Basically gives them almost a monopoly on the industry. And yeah, they're definitely not going away anytime soon. They'll grow indefinitely into the future. I don't know if I just said that already, but yeah, basically here's the growth projection. The analysts are thinking 10%, and then I just have them declining down to 7%. And yeah, I definitely think that they'll be able to hit this, and with their revenue model as well, 10% going to 7%. I for sure think they'll hit this as well, and the profit margin expanding up to 54%. And in this case, their fair share price is going to be 259 or 257, just barely under their current price at 268. If you bought them today, you're expecting like a 9 or 10% return. So very, very solid business. Like I would not be opposed to opening up a position in Visa, MasterCard, or American Express, but we're actually going to be comparing them. So make sure you stay tuned and make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss the comparison between the three. And we're going to determine which one is the best out of the three. Now, of course, you could just buy all three like Warren Buffett, um, or you could buy the best or what you think is the best one. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button. Also, if you want to try the spreadsheet for yourself, just check the description. I leave it for anybody to use for free. All you got to do is change the yellow boxes, and yeah, it should work out pretty well for you. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video.